All right, well, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining today's webinar. We want to encourage all our participants that you can sign up for future webinars on the VACRAO website. Also, we will be recording this program, and remind you too that your camera and your mic are off at all times. So at this time, I'll turn it over to Clayton.
All right, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. We are happy to see that you all have the time to join in on our session today. Getting involved in college, what are the benefits? Why should you get involved? What ways can you get involved depending on what campus you choose? Today, we're going to be discussing how to get involved in terms of study abroad opportunities, working on campus, internships, student organizations and clubs. So by the end of the session today, you'll have a good understanding of different ways you can get involved on your campus, no matter what school or university you choose to attend. So my name is Clayton Lott. I am an admissions counselor at Old Dominion University. We are located in Norfolk, Virginia, which is the second largest city in the state of Virginia. We are within the 15 most charming cities in the Southeast and within the top 25 cities where millennials are moving to. So this area is growing along with the different opportunities we have for students and alumni. So we are excited to have anyone on our campus for virtual tours. We'll be talking about that a little bit later. However, this is a time where I'll introduce also some of our other panelists today.
Hi, my name is Takira Zajac, and I am with the University of Mary Washington. We are located in Fredericksburg, Virginia, actually historic downtown Fredericksburg, so #1 small town in Virginia. We are halfway between Washington, D.C. and Richmond, so you have a lot of good opportunities either way you go. And I will now turn it over to Lily.
Hey everyone, my name is Lily. I'm the admissions counselor for East Tennessee State University. My main territory is the whole state of Virginia, so I'm really excited to work with any student who's from Virginia. We're located in Johnson City, Tennessee, which is actually on the kind of point of Tennessee. So we're about 45 minutes from that Virginia border. And so now I'm going to turn it over to Michelle.
Hi, my name is Michelle Bogan, and I am an admissions counselor with Winthrop University. I work with students in Virginia, Maryland, DC, and Delaware. Winthrop is located in Rock Hill, South Carolina. Rock Hill is right at the state line of South Carolina and North Carolina. We're about 20 minutes south of Charlotte. Rock Hill is the 5th largest city in the state of South Carolina.
Excellent, thank you all. So we're gonna go ahead and begin this session. After the session is over, we'll have a Q&A portion. If you all have any questions about how to get involved, where should you begin, or if you have any questions about some of our specific campuses, you can ask us those questions moving forward. So we're gonna go ahead and begin the presentation. First, we're going to begin with Lily, who will be talking to us with student organizations and student clubs.
Thanks, Clayton. So everyone, again, my name is Lily. I'm the admissions counselor for ETSU. What I'm going to talk to you all about today is why you should join student clubs and organizations. This is supposed to be a fun time in your life, and this is just a little way you can get involved on campus. So today I'm going to be talking about my firsthand experience and the benefits that joining a student club and organization has brought me. So we'll go to the next slide, Clayton. So the first benefit to joining a student club or organization is that it's a time where you can learn and grow as an individual. You might be the president, vice president, secretary, or just a part of the team, but you're going to be learning how to maintain good relationships with other students, faculty, alumni, and you may be put in a leadership role that might be outside of your comfort zone. You also may be a part of a club or organization that can help you prepare for your future career. Sometimes these clubs will invite local community leaders, or they'll take you on a field trip that will allow you to learn more about what you might be interested in as a career. Just for an example, ETSU has a criminal justice society where we invite members of the FBI, the PD, CIA, and sometimes even go on field trips to tour facilities to kind of get their toes wet and make students excited about potentially exploring a career in that field. So next slide. Another benefit is that most clubs or organizations encourage students to do service work. I'm not talking about wearing an orange vest and directing traffic. However, if that is something that you want to do for the local community, then I do say go for it. What I'm talking about more or less is just serving your local community by fundraising for a local shelter or for your school to get a water park, or you can even join organizations that are founded on philanthropies that they support every year. Serving others is definitely good for your heart, but it can also help you by growing your network. Growing your network is very valuable, especially for students who are interested in the organizations who they are serving. Networking can help you develop professional or social contacts that can help lead you to a job after you graduate. We'll go to the next slide. And so the last benefit is definitely the most exciting, and that is the experience you gain from joining a club or organization. Typically in most clubs or organizations, there will be 10 or more other students who have joined. And little do you know at that time of joining these other students who are part of the same club or organization is that these students are going to become your lifelong friends by sharing that one interest you all have in common. And not only will you be making those lifelong friends, but you will be able to make relationships with the alumni of your school that will also help you expand your network further. Joining a club and organizations are meant to be fun, which is why most will host an end of the year banquet or an end of the year semester gathering to appreciate everyone's hard work within the club or organization. By the time you graduate, you'll be able to incorporate the experiences that you gain from joining on your resume and even within your professional career. And I'll go to the next slide. And so I just wanted to share this slide with you all to show you that no matter where you decide to go for your institution, there's always going to have opportunities for you to join a club or organization. Really, it's all based upon the school size and how many opportunities there will be. But as you can see, East Tennessee State University, which is my institution, has 250 plus student organizations that you can be a part of. Old Dominion University, which is Clayton's, has over 300 student organizations. Winthrop University, which is Michelle's, has 160. And then the University of Mary Washington has over 120 different student organizations or clubs that you can be a part of. This can vary between Greek life to academic clubs to professional clubs to sport clubs, intramurals. There's tons of different options. But if you're interested in seeing what the institutions you are interested in has to offer, you can go to their main landing page and search student organizations. Once you do this, you're going to be able to pull up all of the student organizations and clubs that the school has to offer. But I kind of wanted to just touch on this. So all institutions will have their own unique clubs and organizations. But interestingly enough, all of our institutions offer a Quidditch club for students. Now, you're probably thinking, how in the world do we all have Quidditch clubs? But this was actually created from a student who had a passion for Harry Potter, and they found 5 other friends and a faculty member to participate on this club. Most institutions do encourage students to be creative, and they will give students the opportunities to create their own clubs that they can be a part of. So if you are interested in the Quidditch Club or Greek life or anything like that, I highly recommend you stepping out of your comfort zone, joining these organizations. So just to conclude on things, the benefits that I gained from my experience are definitely, I learned a lot. I was able to serve my community and myself, And then I also just got to experience a lot of great things that if I wouldn't have joined the student organization or club, that I probably wouldn't have had the chance to do. But now I'm going to pass it over to Michelle to talk about working on campus.
Michelle, the unmute button, if you hover your mouse towards the top of the screen. Oh, perfect.
I got it now. Sorry, it usually works like that. Sorry, I apologize. So I am going to talk about working on campus. Definitely another way to be really plugged in and connected is to have a job on campus. There are two types of jobs. There are federal work study jobs, and then there are the jobs that are non-work study jobs. Federal work study jobs are usually awarded in financial aid awards. So if a student is awarded one of these, they will know. The student will still have to find their own job, but there are jobs that are reserved for students that have received a federal work study. So all jobs for students can be found by searching HR job posting site. On campus, you can see what's available. And again, if they are reserved for federal work study, it'll usually say the FWS. But there are plenty of jobs out there for all students. Also, most campuses will have a career and job fair about one time a semester, and you can go to those and search for jobs as well. Typically, a student will work 6 to 10 hours a week, and the job is paid at an hourly rate for the most part. Okay. So why work on campus? Well, certainly to make money, to help with expenses while you are in school. But working on campus does have a lot of advantages. One, it's very convenient. You oftentimes can work before classes, between classes, after classes. You're already on campus. You don't have to worry about parking or driving to get there, rushing. Typically, your manager is going to be flexible with your work schedule, knowing that you are a student and you do have classes. So it makes it very easy. But also, again, you get connected. You meet a lot of people. You can network, build your resume while you're a student. So there's just a lot of opportunities for students after they graduate if they've already got some work experience while in college. Okay. Now, tips for finding a job. As I mentioned, you certainly can, a great way is to check HR job posting site regularly, and things will be added often. So definitely do that. See if there's going to be any career fairs, the job and career fairs on campus. Great way to go meet people, find out what's available. You definitely want to brainstorm and think about what it is you want to do. And then talk to friends, talk to peers. Just say, hey, how did you get your job? Do you like your job? So you definitely want to ask around. Even some of your professors might have great ideas for jobs. And then there's always the cork boards. They are still around, and they're a great way to find some jobs, but also to market yourself. So if you have some skills and you just want to put it out there, it might be a way for you to pick up a job as well. So so just lots of ways to find jobs, and there are usually plenty on every campus. Okay. And some examples. So they're endless. So there's food service, there's the library, there's so many different types of jobs within the library even. There's computer lab operators, there are peer tutors, there are newspaper, so if your school has a publication just for newspaper jobs in general. I mean, there can be a graphic design position, there could be a delivery position, a photography position. So lots of jobs within different areas. Again, a resident assistant, a phone-a-thon caller. So just so many ways to work, to make money, to make connections, and just really get involved on campus. Okay, so now I'm going to let Clayton talk about internships.
All right, thank you, Michelle. So internships, bump, bump, bump. So, sometimes when you listen to this word, internships, some students may be a little bit nervous or intimidated by this word. I found that most times students are just nervous and intimidated because they don't know about the process of how to get an internship. They don't know the benefits of receiving an internship. So today we'll be talking about internships. What are they? What do you need to do to find an internship for yourself on your campus? And what are the benefits of having an internship as an undergraduate student? Internships are learning experiences outside of the classroom within your field. Usually there are temporary jobs where you'll have entry-level work experience as a student. You can commit to having an internship during just your summer break. This will give you an opportunity to kind of unwind from the usual hustle and bustle of an academic school year, where you can devote all of your time and energy just for that internship during the summer. Other students who thrive and who love to have a situation where they can multitask, if you are organized and dedicated to just keeping your plate full, and that's what keeps you going on a day-to-day basis, you also have an option of being an intern during your fall and spring semester in the middle of the academic year. Either way, it's doable, especially for those students who are able to multitask, to keep organized in the fall and spring semester. So you can have an internship during the summertime or throughout the school year. That option is up to you. So internships, they are open to all students, no matter what year you are within your campus experience. Usually within your freshman year, this isn't something that you would need to worry about in your first year of college. Maybe your junior and senior year may be a better time to explore this opportunity. Now, some majors require internship hours or shadowing experiences. For example, if you are looking to be a physical therapist and you are in the exercise science program at our school here at ODU, you are required to have an internship through that exercise science department. And this will make you a little bit more marketable when you are searching for your physical therapist school or your PT school for your graduate degree. For example, again, if you are interested in being a teacher or an educator, you will need those shadowing hours through your student teaching opportunities. So you'll see, depending on your program or major, some programs require you to have an internship, but we still encourage students to have internships, no matter if it's a requirement or not. It's a great way to broaden your horizons and develop yourself professionally. So why are internships, why are they worth your time? Now, this is a great way to develop your resume as a student. Studies have shown 2019 graduates, 69% of 2019 graduates received at least one internship opportunity. So it's very important in terms of applying to jobs after your undergraduate experience is over. So it's critical when looking into getting jobs after graduation. For example, let's say you're applying for a job, right? You're applying for that same position just like hundreds of other students are applying for that position too. So if you have an internship, that sets you apart from those other applicants. If you are applying to a job where you only have your degree, you may get that job or interview, you may not. However, if you're applying to that position, you've been involved on your campus, you've joined different student organizations, let's say you've had a job on your campus and an internship, that experience will make you a little bit more marketable in your job search because it shows that you've taken the time outside of the classroom to develop yourself professionally, to expose yourself to different opportunities and experiences. So developing your resume through internships, they are critical in the job search after graduation. Compared to 10 years ago, most internships these days are paid for. You and your parents may have told you stories of internships they've received back in the day where they were not paid for the work that they did. That has changed. The year is 2020. most internships that you'll obtain will be paid positions. Either you'll get paid weekly, monthly, or you'll get a stipend. Once you have completed the internship overall, you'll get a check to compensate for the work that you've been doing for that business or corporation. And the last benefit or reason of why you should obtain an internship is networking. Now, this is the key to success. Sometimes you may have heard the saying, it's not what you know, but it's who you know. For example, let's say it's your senior year. You've worked tirelessly to get your degree, your education, and you are in your internship. Let's say it's the spring semester, graduation is right around the corner. You've been dedicated to this internship. Your supervisor has told you, we love how dedicated you are to the team. You've been a great help for us during this season. And we would like to hire you after your internship is over, after you've graduated. Just by obtaining that internship, you have a job lined up before you even walk across that stage. And that's all because of the time that you spent networking on campus and, of course, networking with different internships. So networking is a key, and you don't interning with a business or a corporation isn't the only way you can network. You can network with students and friends by joining student organizations like Lily shared with us. You can network with working on campus like Michelle shared with us. So interning is just another way that you can network and develop your resume. What do you need to do to obtain an internship? Again, freshman year, this isn't necessarily something you need to worry about doing for your first year in college. Junior and senior year is a great time to start exploring these opportunities. The first thing you would want to do is join a club or organization that coincides with your program. If you are interested in psychology, ODU, we have the Association of Psychology Students on campus. If you're interested in engineering, we have the American Society of Civil Engineers here on campus. So no matter what program you decide to go into, there's always going to be some sort of an organization or a club to join with that program. And this is a great way for you to learn more about your field. And student organization may bring in a guest speaker to talk about the field that they are already a part of, and you can see yourself doing that after graduation. This is a time to introduce yourself to that guest speaker. You never know if that individual has an internship opportunity for you, and all it really took was for you to be active on campus, joining a student organization, and introducing yourself. So you never know. Joining a club may be the key to finding your internship. Most times we encourage students to visit a career development service office. At ODU, our CDS office is very hands-on, very easy to get in contact with. If you reach out to them, they pretty much guarantee you to find an internship or shadowing experience related to your field. So all campuses or universities, typically there will be some sort of an office similar to the CDS office that we have on our campus. And you'll see there are jobs and internships where these employers are looking for students at your campus specifically. I know for our campus at ODU, we have the Careers for Monarchs, where employers are looking to hire ODU alums or ODU current students for internship opportunities. So keep an eye out on that CDS office, no matter what campus you choose. You never know. Again, just by reaching out to that office, exposing yourselves to different opportunities, that's the key to obtaining an internship. And if you kind of just wanted to do your own thing, let's say if you wanted to find your own way, if you were reluctant on reaching out to an office or a support service that your campus may have for you, there are other ways to get an internship where you can just do it on your own. One good way of doing this is, of course, getting active on social media. LinkedIn is an application you can download to your phone. This is essentially the Twitter or Instagram of professional development. You'll see your campus or your university will be on LinkedIn. Other students that you meet on campus will be there as well. Different jobs and employers have LinkedIn accounts. It's a great start to your college experience by making that LinkedIn account within your freshman year. Now, this is essentially an interactive app where you can communicate with employers and other students on your campus, but it's essentially an interactive resume. Now, it's, a new day, a new age. It's 2020. Resumes, it doesn't just have to be just on paper and paper copy. Usually, especially in these times, people have creative ways of making their resumes through LinkedIn. You can share with them pictures and videos of how you've been involved on your campus, and it just, again, makes yourself more marketable in your internship search. Handshake Jobs and Careers is another application you can download to your phone, which will give you more information on the internship opportunities that are in your local area. And of course, Glassdoor is a website online where you can find jobs and internships as well. So again, joining clubs and organizations that pertain to your major, getting in contact with your career development service office on campus, and kind of exploring social media are 3 great ways to find yourself an internship. All right, we are going to bring in Takira, who will talk with us about studying abroad.
Hello. So for studying abroad, you have various opportunities with that. There are traditionally like 3 different study abroad programs. One of them is the traditional one that you see when you watch movies where they study in London or in Paris for a semester a year. There's another one that's an exchange program. So let's say your school has an agreement with a school in Italy, and they have 5 students interested in your school, and you have 5 students interested in their school. You 5 will swap. So you pay your school's tuition, they pay their school's tuition, but they will learn at the other institution, right? The one that I feel is more popular is that there's a smaller one that's attached to classes. So you go over your breaks, and it's in reference to a class that you're actively taking. So either you just finished it, you're just starting it, but you kind of get to see the application of what you're learning in class in the various places that you're going. Like, for example, UMW has a class specifically on the Galapagos Islands. So that's where they go for their trip, and you get to see the different animals and flora and fauna that you've learned about in class, right? Those are typically nice because you get a faculty member that goes with you. So it's not as intimidating of a trip to be in a new place and not know your way around or how to communicate. So generally the smaller ones are pretty popular with those. In addition to being able to study abroad, you can also do various internship programs, and some schools will also have service programs that will go abroad as well. So you have a couple of different opportunities. There's a lot of research projects that can also go abroad. One of my student aides this past year had a research project that she did with a professor. So she got to do a study abroad trip to Norway. So you have a lot of different opportunities. This is another one of those networking examples where sometimes talking to your professor is the best way to find out about a trip, because they may be the one that goes somewhere with that. So yeah, so check into those. Next slide, Clayton, please. Why study abroad? Various reasons. So studying abroad really broadens your horizons. It makes you more culturally aware. You feel like in different situations, you are more understanding of various cultures. So you are least likely to offend someone by doing something. Like, example, this means okay here. It's a bad word in Italy. So, but you wouldn't know that if you weren't there, right? That's an example of little things that you may not know of just living here. It's generally easier to travel in school. As you go along in your adulting process, you get a job and it's full time, and now you have to arrange your time off. Is the time off that's convenient for you to take actually the best time to travel to whatever area you're going to? Who knows? You get a dog. Do you board your dog? Do you have someone that can keep a hold of your dog? What do you do with your dog? Now you have children. What do you do with them? Are they old enough to truly appreciate this experience? Should you wait? There's a lot more questions involved as you get older. But in college, it's a simple thing. It's just you. So you get up and go over break and have some fun, right? The biggest thing I think is that it's a confidence booster. I lived in Italy for a year, and I can't tell you what built me more confidence more than being able to ask how to find an ice cream place, understand the directions to get there on my own, order my ice cream, and then pay for it by myself in a spot where I did not know the language. there's a lot of confidence that comes from being able to say, yeah, I did that, or I ordered that, and fun fact, it's not snails. You never know, right? So there's a lot of confidence that goes into being able to navigate a new place, and then it makes you more confident when you get home. I am more than okay with driving to new places because I survived Italy where they didn't even speak English to tell me where I was going. So you're a lot more confident in general with some of the things that you can do. Next slide, Clayton, please. Can you afford to go? Yes, there is actually scholarship funding out there for you guys to be able to study abroad. And a lot of schools will have something like this built into their programs. At Mary Wash, you have to do some sort of experiential learning. So you can study abroad, you can do a research project, an internship, or some kind of community learning thing, right? So this one is actually a nice way to do any one of those 4 things, right? So with those, a lot of schools will have various departments on campus that can help you with that. Your faculty members can sometimes be a good source of information. Some schools will have a fair for being able to travel, and some other schools might host various seminars where they can even auction off or raffle some funding for you to be able to travel. For some schools, when it's attached to a class, the scholarship money you've already received to pay for your tuition can be used to help you with that because it's attached to the class that you're already taking. So sometimes you just have to be able to pay to get there, right? And where you're staying for the time that you're there. So there's a lot of different opportunities involved in being able to study abroad. I definitely recommend it. I think it's a great opportunity all the way around to meet new people, see new things. I got to see Venice, and it was an amazing experience behind it, but this past year it flooded. So all of those people couldn't experience it the way that I did. So it's a lifetime opportunity. So next, we are going to go to questions. Please remember that your mic and camera are muted. We understand that you will have to type because you can use the Q&A button at the bottom of your screen. So we will give you guys a moment to type, but while we are waiting for you to type out any of your questions, we will post up our personal information so that you can see more about how to reach us specifically and or how to visit our campuses.
So, hey everyone, just to touch base again, my name is Lily. If you're interested in coming to tour ETSU, like I said, it's right on the tip of Tennessee. So we're about 45 minutes away from the Virginia border. You can sign up for an in-person tour by going to etsu.edu/visit. You can also experience our campus virtually by going to etsu.university-tour.com. So Clayton, I'll let you go next. And then I have a question for you too.
Okay, all right, sounds good. Thank you, Lily. Again, my name is Clayton Lott. I work with Old Dominion University admissions. You can follow us with the handle below for Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, what have you. But if you're interested in touring with ODU, you can sign up on our website, odu.edu/visit. And if you have any questions about, let's say if you wake up next week, man, I forgot to ask Clay that question during the session. My email is also here, clot@odu.edu. Or Lily, did you want to ask me that question now or later?
If you want to let Michelle introduce herself or talk about the campus, and then to Kira, and then
Perfect.
we'll go over the questions.
Okay, all right, sounds like a plan.
Hi again, I'm Michelle Bogan with Winthrop University. My information is listed here. Also, you can visit our website to sign up for visits. We do offer 2 virtual visits every weekday and 1 in-person visit. And all of the information is on our website. So If you would like some more information, please visit our website, sign up for a virtual tour or in-person tour or a virtual chat, and we hope to hear from you. Thanks.
Hello again, I am Takira. That's my contact information there. UMW is hosting both in-person and virtual visits this year, so you can do whichever one you are more comfortable with. And down below, for any seniors that are in attendance, we do senior interviews, so I put the information for that there as well. If you are interested, there is a scholarship opportunity attached to that. So yeah.
All right.
All
Thank
right.
you. I think we have already some questions in the chat box here. Just for the sake of time, let's see. I'm not able to open up the chat box though.
I can ask you the questions, Clayton.
Yeah,
I have
that's
one
even-
that they're actually both for you, or someone else can take the second question. But first question, it says, what kinds of STEM clubs exist? More specifically, computer science or engineering clubs. Do they have a rocketry club, Indy car club, or etc.? And is there a web link where I can find a list of clubs available at ODU?
Perfect. Thank you for that question. Yes, we have a link that I can send. Whoever asked that question, go ahead and jot down my email, clot@odu.edu. I'll give you the link that literally lists all of our clubs and organizations that we have on campus. We have so many different computer science, engineering related organizations here. We have one of those IndyCar orgs on campus. As a student, I always saw them working on those cars on campus. They compete with other universities in the state and out of state in terms of competitions and winning different awards for the creations that they make during the year. So we do have that club on campus. We have computer science oriented clubs and organizations too. This will give you a chance to give yourself an opportunity to broaden your horizons. Of course, they also have opportunities where you can take different courses and classes. If you're interested in coding, you can have an opportunity to kind of dive into those coding classes within that student organization. So go ahead and shoot me an email. I can give you more information, but we have all of those clubs that you mentioned.
Thanks, Clayton. So we do have another question. It is referring to internships. I don't know if you want to answer this again, or if you would like someone else to take the reins on this. But the question is, do internships act as regular jobs when it comes to days off? For example, if I wanted to take a couple of days off to study for midterms or final exams, I could talk to my employer, right?
Yes, yeah. So, as an intern, they understand that you're a student first. Of course, you're going to put your academics before any job responsibility. So if you express to your supervisor, hey, I have an important final exam next week, is it okay if I either get off work early or take a couple of days off to prepare for that exam? More often than not, that supervisor will be understanding of your commitment to school first. Of course, how can you put all your time to that internship if you aren't being successful in your classes? So they would be, more often than not, they're going to be understanding.
Thanks, Clayton. So I do encourage you all. We still have about 5 more minutes if you want to type in your questions. In the meantime, I'm just going to ask Clayton, Michelle, and Takira just some other questions. So if you don't care, Takira, do you care to tell me a little bit about your traditions on campus?
So at UMW, our biggest tradition is Devil Goat Day. It's the one time of the year that the school actually divides in pretty much in half. So if you graduate on an even year, you're a goat. If you have graduated on an odd year, you're a devil. And the whole school does a bunch of competitions for it. So we usually have like tug of war. We actually broke the tug of war rope last year. It was a very intense competition. They'll do like potato sack races, but there's also a lot of music and be involved. I love getting the funnel cake and then doing tug of war. It's not always the best combination to do the funnel cake first, but that's a big thing on campus. Everybody gets their t-shirts and they wear their t-shirts. So you see a bunch of red and green shirts going around for the year. So that's our biggest one.
Awesome. And then Clayton, if you don't care, just to give your feedback on some ODU traditions.
Yes, we have so many traditions on our campus. One that really stands out is really our tradition to not walk across our university seal until graduation day. If you were to walk across that seal before your graduation, either you won't graduate on time from ODU, or there's a chance that you may not graduate from the school at all. So we have a university seal in the middle of our campus. It's a tradition to walk across that seal on the graduation day itself. So some students walk across the seal, they jump on the seal, they dance on the seal. It's some sort of a rite of passage as a monarch on campus. Some students take it so seriously they kiss the seal because they've been waiting so long for this opportunity. So that's one of my favorite traditions, is walking across the seal during the graduation. That's
awesome. And then Michelle, do you care to tell me some ways you were involved on campus while you were in your undergraduate experience?
Yes, so way back when I was at Winthrop, I was involved in Greek life. So I was in a sorority, a lot of fun with that. Also, my junior and senior year, I had a job as a resident assistant. So I was in charge of a floor in one of the residence halls, and I loved that. And then also I think one time when I just needed a little extra money, I worked at a phone-a-thon, calling and asking past graduates to give some money to us. So yeah, I just really liked being involved. It was a lot of fun, and you definitely get connected. How about you, Lily? Were you involved?
I was involved on campus. So I was also a part of Greek life. I was in a sorority. I did have a few roles in my time there, but I also worked on campus. I graduated from ETSU with my degree in marketing, and I actually worked for the College of Business in my time, and I was a peer advisor. So I was able to serve my peers by helping them make their schedules. And that's always a crazy and confusing time for students. And I was able to be like, hey, I'm in your shoes right now. I understand. We're going through this together, okay? And so, and I did a couple other things, but definitely being involved on campus did help me kind of flourish. I definitely grew and as a person in my professional experience. And then that led me to being an admissions counselor for ETSU. So, and I'm sure Clayton and Takira, you all were involved on campus as well. So if you all want to we have 2 more minutes. If you want to touch bases on that, then you can do that.
Yeah, I was definitely involved as a student at ODU. I just graduated in 2019, a part of Homecoming Council, a student organization called Brother to Brother, which is kind of mentoring for African-American students and Latinx students on campus. Also, I put my best foot forward in learning there was an organization where they'll teach you different Latin dances. I tried and failed miserably, but it was still fun. I learned a lot of new things. I learned very quickly. I have 2 left feet, but it was still a cool experience. And no matter if you're good at something or if you just want to learn more about something, get involved, just trying new things, exposing yourself to new opportunities, and that will make your college experience all the more worthwhile.
I actually was involved in the Honor Society. That's where I found my people at our school, because I'm a ginormous geek and I was okay with that. In school, I learned to accept that. That was what I learned while I was at UMW. We don't have Greek life, so ours was mostly, various clubs and organizations. But I also did a lot of service work. In my free time, I was also a part of the police department. And so one of the things that I did quite often was actually work at the local police academy and taught police officers a different way to talk to elderly people suffering from various forms of dementia. So I took a lot of pride in helping out the community in our area. We had a lot of veterans, or have a lot of veterans. There's like 4 or 5 bases, various military bases in this area. So sometimes you get veterans suffering from traumatic head injuries. And so we really helped them see a different way to help people so that it didn't just put people in the system, but really help them get the help that they needed. So actually that was a lot of my spare time at this school, but I took a lot of pride in that. So I was okay with that one.
Okay, we'd like to thank all participants this afternoon for joining in. Thank you all presenters. Thank you guys for asking questions. You will get a survey, so we appreciate your feedback and encourage you to sign up for additional programs. And thanks again for joining us, and we hope you have a great day.
Bye.
All good, everybody? Thanks. Have a good day.